Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. You know, they talk about the economy getting better, but let me tell you, there's certain areas of the economy that continues to limp along. The whole banking industry remains incredibly weird, very precarious. You'd be shocked to know the changes that have transpired, and I need to get some people on to talk about those changes here in the next few weeks. But one of those places where people are still able to find money because, the various investment entities out there are scarier than ever, is in private investment bankers. They're getting money from people who want to invest in certain things and specific things and creating revenue returns that other investment strategies can't offer and creating opportunities for entrepreneurs to be able to get their project funded. And I'm going to spend some time with a company called Allegiance Capital Corporations. And David Mahmood is our guest. And David, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Tell us, give us the elevator speech, if you will, about Alliance.
Well, Allegiance Capital is a middle-market investment banking firm that helps privately held and closely held companies sell their business when they're ready, help them grow their business through acquisition, and raise financing for them at the appropriate times when they have either a problem attempting to grow or need a recapitalization.
Okay. And where are you corporately located?
We're headquartered in Dallas, Texas. We have offices at 230 Park Avenue in New York in the Helmsley Building and the Opera House in Chicago.
Very good. Let me ask you about what's happening right now in this arena for you. You said your primary client is a mid-market client?
That's right.
Yeah. Tell me about the what's going on right now. I would assume it's a pretty good time for you.
It is because there's so much money on the sidelines. I'm old enough that I've gone through 6 major economic downturns in my business career, the last one being the worst. But what's unusual, while we're coming out of this downturn, it's a little bit like watching ice melt. It's coming back, but rather slowly, is the amount of money that's on the sidelines. Private equity groups, which invest in privately held and closely held businesses, are sitting on $1.1 trillion. If you look at the strategic acquirers, the S&P 500 sitting on $1.2 trillion. American business has $2 trillion. So there's a ton of money on the sidelines, and there's real opportunities for business owners who are looking to either partially cash out or totally cash out to do a transaction. There's just an awful lot of investment capital available. And part of the reason for it is private equity. These are financial acquirers, people who invest in privately held and closely held businesses, have been able to return to their investors excellent returns. So people who've invested in private equity in the past have made a great deal of money. Pension funds, wealthy individuals are pouring more and more money into private equity. In fact, right now, private equity has more dry powder, that's cash on hand, over $1 trillion than it's ever had in the history of the business. And there's approximately 2,500 private equity groups in the United States. So on the buy side, there's a lot of opportunities. On the sell side, because a lot of companies are still recovering from the recession, they don't have their sales and earnings where they want them to be. There's fewer companies coming to market. The net result is the laws of supply and demand are immutable. With limited supply, great demand, the prices we're getting for companies have gone up rather significantly.
Right.
Oilfield service, for example.
Hey, David, we have about 3 or 4 more minutes left, and I have several questions. So,
go ahead.
Let me ask you, I notice you cover a plethora of industries. If people go to allcapcorp.com, that's ALLCAPCORP.com, they'll see their really navigation of various industries there. That's pretty vast. I would say it's difficult to call you specialist. I guess you're specialist in money.
Well, that's absolutely true, and I think the other factor is this. If you're in our business, you have to be opportunistic. So our hot markets are naturally the oil and gas industry, healthcare, 10,000 people are turning 65 every day. Technology and food is always good. With developing economies and that type of thing, the demand for protein goes up dramatically.
Right.
So with the housing industry coming back, we're watching it closely. It'll probably be a business that we get more actively involved in a year or so. But you have to be a trend watcher, take a look at where the investment community is going and where are those hot areas. So while we're agnostic, for example, this year 40% of our business has been in the oil patch.
Wow, yeah, and I guess that's very pragmatic.
You have to be, because the only constant in our business is change. The marketplace is continuing to change, and the only way you're successful in this business is by being prepared for change.
Right. So you said the majority of your companies are in the mid-market arena. How small do you get?
We'll take companies that are generally 25 million on the low side to 500 million on the high side. We kind of look for companies that have an EBITDA of 3-4 million to 50 million, well-established, good companies, so to speak, that have been around for a while, where the owner is looking for some type of strategy for the future. And we work on the basis that people who plan are more successful than folks who don't. Yeah,
no question about it. I agree with you entirely on that. By the way, I do want to mention again the website is for Allegiance.
Yes, the website for Allegiance is allcapcorp, ALLCAPCORP.com. There's a great deal of information there, and people can take a look at it and see if there is anything there that may be beneficial to them. Yeah,
I want to encourage people to check that out and learn more about the company. David, appreciate your time, and look forward to hearing more about your story as time goes by. Thanks so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
All right, David Mahmood, and he is with Allegiance Capital Corp. That's allcapcorp.com. I'm Kevin Price. Best content here shows up over there, including this interview at the national news website, usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter. Stay tuned for more.